Hey, now that you've located your automatic remote control candles with your little remote control for your candles there, you can find something like this and you can hang it somewhere. Now, where are we going to hang that? We're going to hang that, if you weren't with me earlier, we're going to go up there. There's a little loft up there, and in between that rail and that header up there, going to hang that. And then this remote control, I already tried it, the remote control will work up there. That's where this white one's gonna hook up, and I'm gonna use this swag hook. If you've never used these are kind of cool. This is called a swag hook, and I'll show you how that works in a second. Now this one here is a jumbo swag. You don't have to get a swag hook this big. There's also some smaller ones, but we opted for the bigger one. Let's see if I can't get this open. And I want to show you this. Have you ever installed one of these? You got different connections on here. You see there? Now this one here, you take it and you put it in that. And that's called like a little toggle. You poke a hole up in your sheetrock ceiling. If you're not hitting wood, you poke a hole up, and it has to be at least this big in your sheetrock ceiling, and you don't want to screw this in too far. This is probably plenty. And then you hold out like that, and you tap, 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 and it goes up into the sheetrock. And see, you have to push it up at least this far from here to there before this will, let's say this is the ceiling right here, and you slide it up and doink, like that. Then you can start screwing this in, and see, that's going to have your swag on there like this. You screw that on there like that. Okay, this is for sheetrock ceilings. You put that on there like that, and see, to poke it up in there, if you can have it up like that first if you want, and then just have it started a little bit like that. You can poke that up through there, tap, 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 get doink. Then you kind of pull down and have pressure on this, and then you just start screwing this up. You see? Screw, 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 and your sheetrock's about a ½ an inch. You just keep pulling pressure down as you're screwing it up, okay? And then these tabs are tight to the ceiling, and you just tighten this up snug as a bug in a rug, okay? Then next time, if you ever want to take this out, and I've got one of those that I'm going to have to remove, and see, it's way up here in the corner, and one of them I'm going to hook up there, but I need to get a chain first, and it's too close, and I don't think I can use that one because I doubt that's hitting any wood, okay? And if it's not hitting any wood, it's going to be like this. So when you start unscrewing it, this little toggle flap thing is going to ultimately stay in your above your sheetrock ceiling, because as you unscrew this, obviously you're not going to be able to reach up in there to depress that like that and then pull it on back down. So you're just going to keep unscrewing this here. You get the idea, but I'm this far, so I might as well do the rest. Okay. So now that comes off. Now you can pull this part down from the ceiling, and this is just left up in the ceiling. Then you're going to have to cover up that hole up there with some caulking or something like that. And this is all you're going to have left. So if you think you're going to reuse your existing toggle, you can, but you're going to have to go back to the store and find one of these. And you should take this with you to the store, because not all the threads are the same size. There's different sizes, at least 3 different size threads. So you want to make sure you get the right toggle. So when you go to the store, now you can take that and you can screw that in and see which one you need. You might have to buy 2 or 3, or you might have to buy a toggle and a screw or something. and the same size as this, just to use this part here. Then you can use that back up in the ceiling. Okay, that's a little quickie on that. But in my case, I'm not going to use that part of it. Okay, so that part, this part right here, I'm not going to use. I'm going to use just this. And this has wood threads on it. See there? And it's got little fine threads at this end, because we're going to take that and we're going to screw the fine thread area in there like that. And now I can screw that right up into that header. Now the funny thing is, I wish they would make these screws a little bit longer, because sometimes you're not necessarily going to screw this lag right into a wood header, you know, that you can see the wood, right? There's sheetrock there, so there's at least a ½ inch of sheetrock, and there's some corner bead up there, and they floated it out, so probably 3/4 of an inch of this has to go through sheetrock. The only bit of this left is going to be about that much from here up that fits into the wood, and that's it. Okay, so in normal conditions, I would probably take a screw or a drill bit, and find a drill bit just a hair smaller than this in diameter, and pre-drill it. That way, as I'm twisting this up, I don't break this off. Sometimes you get a lag if it's smaller than this, and you think, oh man, I only have ½ an inch to go, and you try to tighten it, and this bends, or this part snaps off, or you get a pair of pliers right here, and then you mark this all up. You don't want to do that. You want to pre-drill your hole, and I might just do that even though there's sheetrock up there, just to show you how that works. But you want to make sure that your drill bit is a little bit smaller than this. Go, even if you have a question, go 2 sizes smaller than this. Then try tightening it up, and if it doesn't tighten up all the way, take it back down and use the next size drill bit. Something like that. The last thing you want is to use too big of a drill bit. That way when you screw this up and you keep twisting and twisting and twisting, well, it's not going to go any tighter because the hole is too big. Okay, and that's it. So a swag, when you get the swag hooks at the store, make sure you get both parts. Okay, here's another swag that I'm going to use for this anodized bronze candle, and I'm going to hang that one from a ceiling. So see, there's no hook at the top, so I'm going to get a little chain from the hardware store and hook that up there. Then I can use this swag for that into the ceiling, and that's when I'm going to use the toggle bit with the long threaded rod. Okay, well, let's take this white one. This white one here is going to go up high. Let's go ahead and get up there. I'll get all set up and get ready to go so I can install that swag.